Happy Wednesday, everyone. Welcome to, I think this is my fourth walk and talk on a Wednesday. Weather, it's okay. It's not raining, sun's coming out. So today, I've got a coat that's not waterproof, don't need it today, hopefully. And I'm back over, same place as I was yesterday, over the common, just a different place. And actually what I'm going to attempt to do today is try and hold this camera up because I think I'm showing too much of my double chin when I walk along. So let's see if I can keep it like this, if I can. So first of all, thank you for those of you who have liked and commented, whether it's on LinkedIn. Some of you sent me private messages saying you're enjoying it or some of the tips are helping you. And actually some of you have left a message on my YouTube channel. So again, thank you very much. Please keep doing that. Please keep sharing. If this can help one of you, just one of you, towards getting a role, I'll be really, really happy. Hopefully it'll be a lot more than one of you. But yeah, please keep doing that because it helps. Now today I'm going to do a little recap of last week, and there's a reason because I put some roles out this week and I had so many people making the mistakes that I talked about last week. I'm going to talk about the specifics of a role. A lot of job descriptions, as we know now, are very specific. Most creatives don't like that. I never used to. I'm going to touch on that. And then finally again, I want to talk about you guys not always reading the description correctly and possibly wasting your time and the recruiters. And I'm going to get on that as well. So a quick recap of last week. What I talked about was when applying for the role is there's going to be roles that are asking specific things, i.e. CD role I had a couple of weeks ago. They wanted a CD to look after financial brands. So common sense says they need to see examples of your financial experience. And I was saying, make sure you do that. That could be on the CV that you send over, that you get that across. Could be an email, could be a cover letter. But it's really important that you get that across and you let the hiring manager know, yes, my website might only have one piece, but by the way, I've worked on all these brands and I've also attached a PDF of the relevant experience. So that's really important. Now this week I put a couple of new roles on, I think 3 new roles, and one that was on, is back on. And you know what? I cannot tell you how many have not read that job description and are applying for a role that on what I see and read from them, they're not going to get, okay? And it's just a shame because all it's doing is wasting their time and ours in a way, right? And I will get onto that. Like this week, a couple of roles out. I had one for a copywriter role, B2B experience with technology brand experience. That's really simple. B2B technology brand. You've got to cover those. I think the one that summed it up for me was from a copywriter who had none of that, and actually by their own admission specialises in luxury fashion, okay? So it's got nothing to do with the role they're applying for. To me it doesn't make sense. Why would you do that? And then I had it's quite nice, I haven't walked around this bit before. Some rocks behind me, quite nice up there. The other one I had was a CD role, still on by the way. And what the agency are after, because this is what they do, it's obviously from a design background and basically lived and breathed, and all they've done most of their career is brand identities, right? Brand identities in the FMCG world, mainly food brands and ideally global food brands. Again, can't get more specific than that. I get someone whose last 16 years have been spent in exhibitions and events. Don't even think there was a brand identity on there. Again, the agency are just going to throw that away if I send it. So again, like I said last week, please look at it and work out if it's for you. Okay, so I get a lot of that, as a lot of recruiters will do. Now, I'm going to move on to a subject here that actually when I was a creative, I said the same and I'd be the same, is what we do know is most roles nowadays, they're fairly specific to what they're after. Now, I'm not going to get into that. What I'm going to say is, it doesn't matter whether you agree or disagree, it is the way it is. You know, I used to think that when I was a creative, I go, oh, I can do that. But the agency nowadays, and you've got to remember, it's still a creative director who's going to be looking at it. So it's coming from them. It's not coming from an account handler or anyone else. It's coming from creative director. And it's very, very specific, right? So it doesn't matter whether you agree or not. The thing is, this is how it is, right? I think this week I saw a really good book from someone, and like I try and do, even if they're not right, I'll give them a call or say, let's have a chat, really love the work. It's not right for this role. And when I got talking about that role, I didn't give the agency away, when I get a role, their first words were, yeah, but I can do that. And I go, I'm sure you can. But the agency are going to want to see experience of that, relevance experience. They want to see work in that area. Like I say, this isn't about whether it's right or wrong. That debate could go on for a long, long time. It's here. It's not going away. So my attitude is this, regardless of whether you think it's wrong or you don't agree with it and you can do it, stop fighting that and work with the system and go, okay, I don't agree, I'm peed off about it, but if that's what they want, then that's what I'm going to do. Because if you don't, you're going to reduce your chances of getting that job. You probably won't even get put forward for it. If I don't see specific things that an agency have asked or told me they want to see, then I'm not going to give you that call. I don't want this to sound harsh, but what I'm trying to say is this is reality. And in life, you know, you can take it as a general thing, not just about this. If we know nothing's going to move, that's a situation. You either accept it or you move on. So guys, what I will say to you is you can see a job description, have your little 10-minute get and pee off, kick a few chairs. I often give myself a little bit of time just to get something out of my system. And once it's done, I go, right, ready to go. So my advice on this is, get your frustration out at another role with another description that you don't agree with, absolutely fine. But then decide, if you're gonna go for it, make sure it's relevant and you're ticking those boxes. If it's asking for a certain thing or it wants to see something, guys, show it. And as I said last week, make it as easy as you can for whether it's a me or another recruiter or straight to the creative director, make it as easy as you can for them to pick up the phone. Hey John, just seen your book, love it, notice this, and this. But if you don't, that phone's not going to go. So what I would say, guys, is, I know you don't, a lot of you, and I was the same, look, we know a lot of creators can do a lot of things, but no, it is what it is today. They're asking for specifics. Get the frustration out on your own and then go, okay, go with it. Because that's not going to change. And it doesn't matter how much we moan about it, it's not going to change, it's here to stay. So all I would say is accept it, embrace it, and work with it. Because it will improve your chances of getting that role. Now, the last bit I'm going to talk about, and again it's related to this week, excuse me, I'm not even having to look at my notes today, how good's that? What I want to touch on here is, so this week, and I mentioned some people that applied for a role and it just wasn't for them. And I cannot tell you how many people applying for roles, not only is it nowhere near right for them, right, sometimes you could even call it halfway not right for them, they're not even close. And I cannot tell you how many I look at, and often I think, wow, they're applying for that role. And this is what I was going to say, it's a double-edged sword, because I know, and I was the same by the way, I'd complain that maybe I didn't get feedback from, let's walk up here, from a recruiter, never heard back. And I think I've mentioned it before, and I might even do a video on this a couple of weeks, is so much time is wasted. I cannot tell you how much time I waste going for applications that clearly aren't right. And the one thing with me being a creative, you send me your work in and a portfolio, I will always do my best to look at that work, okay, always. Because sometimes when I see something, I think, oh, you're not right for this role, I'll have a chat with you about the future and other things. So I do that. But the amount of times I see something quite right quickly, I go, that's not right for this role. And I waste so much time going through, looking, rejecting, going through, because they're not right for the role. Now, the flip side of this, it's very simple. If we had more time on our side, it might be that time we could use really cleverly, and that might be getting back to more of you for feedback. I always try to give feedback, always. Can't always, and there'll be some of you saying, no, you didn't get me feedback. I always do. And again, I'm going to do something on this, because actually every person I speak to, I give feedback to. I'm talking about when you get 500 applications, you can't individually go to every single one and give them basically a book crit on why they didn't get it. It's absolutely impossible. You times that 500 by 5, 6, 7, 10 jobs, you'd never get anything done. What would help us is if we had less people who obviously haven't read that job description applying. And I know wasting time sounds a bit harsh, but that's what's happening. So it means there's other things we can't get to, and one of them might be getting back to more people. I can't speak for others. Like I say, I always get back to people that I put forward for a role, and I'm going to do something on this in the next week or two. So again, guys, please read the job description, because it helps both of us. And when I was thinking about this in the last hour or two, because I was thinking about what am I going to talk about this week, I saw a post on LinkedIn this week, and again, I'm gutted. I've been in your position, right? And it is hard out there. It's hard. And I saw someone again write down he had applied for 200 jobs and he didn't get any of them. Okay. And again, I'm gutted to hear it, because we know it's so tough out there, and I've been in that position. But this is also, we'll think about this. So at the moment, that person, and a lot of you, your mind is working overtime. They go, oh my God, 200, some of you are more, 300. Then those little voices in the head start saying, oh, it means you're no good. It means you're no good. Give up, give up. And what happens is, up here we start to suffer. And again, I'm actually going to do a video on mental health in the next few weeks. But what I would say quickly on this is, if that and I'm not saying, by the way, that person didn't apply for 200 positions that were exactly what they were looking for. But I think a lot of you, because I did it, I applied, and I mentioned this last week, I applied for roles that I thought, yeah, maybe I might get it. But guess what? My heart weren't in it. I just said, yeah, let's do it, because of LinkedIn Easy Apply. Now, what would happen if you guys only applied for those roles that you really, really wanted? And when you applied, you did what I talked about last week. You added on the CV or a cover letter that, oh yes, you have that experience, here's the relevant experience, and this is why I want it. Would that 200 or 300 be reduced to 100 or 50? Just a question. Like I said, that guy might have actually applied to 200 that were right up his street. So I'm not judging that. But all I'm saying is, when we sit down and those voices in our head go, oh my God, you've applied for 400 jobs, you didn't get one. We know those voices, and they're going to start saying, you're not very good, you should give up, because I've had those. But what if it wasn't 400 or 500? Because a lot of those, like I said, you sort of applied for, but really more in hope rather than think I'm going to get it. What happens if you only apply for those roles that are really right for you? Is it going to be 300 or 400 no's, or is that going to be reduced by 50% or even more? And if it is, would that help you here mentally, mental health wise? Would it make you feel a bit better about yourself? No one likes rejection. No one does. I didn't. It's horrible. But sadly, it's part of life. And I was only thinking about that today and yesterday about, and I'd never thought about it before, is, are we applying for too many? Possibly yes. A lot of them don't mean anything to us. Possibly yes. But the knock-on effect is, mentally, we're then judging ourselves against roles we may not have got in the first place. And it's something to think about, guys, okay? I've come to a road here, but it's a good point, because I've basically finished. So I'm going to leave you with that. Like I say, some of you agree, some won't. That's great. The whole point of this is to give you my learnings of what I'm seeing now on the dark side, okay? And how it can help you. Some of you already know the things I'm talking about. Others won't. Some will do something about it, or it might be the sun there. Others won't. But if I could just help one or two of you, that'd be fantastic. So again, relook at this video if you need be. I hope this helped today. I think this is the fourth one. It's a lovely day walking around. Really enjoyed it. Again, thank you very much for your likes and your comments and shares, by the way. And I get some really nice messages. I'm going to continue. I've got a few more videos I want to make for you guys. So next few weeks, especially if the weather's like that, it's great. Have a great Wednesday. I hope this has helped you, even if it's a little bit, to rethink what you're doing in terms of applying for jobs, and hopefully some of this will help you. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you next week.